Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all doing really well. It has been a long time since I've made any videos about new plants, plant hauls, that kind of thing. I was making a lot of them around a year ago, even more than a year ago now at this stage. And honestly, it was a conscious decision to stop making so many of those videos. And the reason for that is that I was buying a lot of plants that I slowed down on just personally. I didn't think it was a very healthy practice. It was very consumerism based, lots of constant new things, and it just wasn't very healthy in my opinion. The houseplant market has since taken off. Well, it had already taken off, but around that time, around when I first started my YouTube channel, it was definitely beginning to get a little bit out of control during the pandemic, and I didn't really want to be contributing to that. If I was in any way, I didn't want people to be watching my videos and thinking, oh, I need this new plant, this one, this one, this one, and personally wanted to focus on the plants that I already have. Saying that, it has been a long time since I've bought a couple of plants, and I have done so recently. I've been much more conscious with my plant purchases. I've talked about this on my channel before, but so because I've bought them, I just want to share them. There's some pretty cool plants in here, some plants that I've been eyeing up for quite a while, and since it's been so long, I think it's totally okay to show you some new plants that I've picked up over the last couple of months. Some of these plants I've picked up quite recently, some of them I've gotten over trades and things over the last couple of months, and some of them I've just bought as cuttings and such. So I want to share them with you today. I really enjoy seeing plants that are absolutely beautiful and way out of my price range, and then waiting a year for the price to come down and then getting them. And one of those plants to start us off is the Syngonium Wendlandii. Now, I have been eyeing this up for so long. This plant was really popular last year, and it's significantly come down in price, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've picked this up from one of my favorite plant shops, one that I trust, and it's beautiful. I only got this week, so it's still settling in. Now, I haven't had much luck with Syngoniums in soil. The Syngoniums that I have that are still alive are either in water or in some kind of semi-hydro situation. So I would like to convert this just so that I don't kill it. I don't want to risk it. But for now, I'm just letting it adjust to my house a little bit. The leaves are much thicker in person and quite velvety, and I just love it. I think it's super striking. I love the really deep green, and I love the stripes. Gorge, gorge, gorge. So that's number one. Two of the plants that I've picked up recently are indeed Hoyas, and they're very pretty and very cool. Two, again, that I've wanted for quite a while. The first of which is Hoya kodata sumatra. So I've again seen this plant all over the place. It's very, very popular. This specimen isn't exactly the best, I think, show of this plant. This plant gets super, super pretty when it's sun stressed. It also, this leaf is more true to form. It has a couple of splashes on it, and it also has kind of wrinkles around the edges. When this plant gets sun stressed, it gets really deep, kind of a purpley red, and that's what I hope to do to this one. It is actively growing. There's some new leaves coming in here, so it looks really healthy. Again, this is from the same plant shop. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. Again, picked this up way cheaper than I've seen in other places. Can't exactly remember the price, but it wasn't much. It was under 20. This plant has significantly come down in price as well in the last year or so. You know, guys, if you wait, you can still get them at a much less painful price. So that is her, or him, or they, and I love it. So hopefully it does well for me. I haven't looked up any care tips on this yet, and I have it under my Spider Farmer Girl Light. Again, I just picked this up this week, so yeah, The second Hoya that I've picked up is a very, very, very interesting one, and one that I'm really excited about. Again, waited for it to come down in price, and this is a little plug plant, and this is Hoya imbricata. So this looks like little raviolis or tortellinis or something, and unfortunately it is in one of these cocoa what are these little cocoa bark things. In my experience, I don't love getting plants like this because the roots become super entwined in it, and it's quite hard to free them from the kind of cocoa bark, but it's fine. This is only a little plug, and it has four raviolis, one of which is very wrinkled and dried out, and I can feel that it's already dead. But the rest seem healthy. I have no idea how to care for this. Any care tips are totally welcome in the comments. This plant is super, super cool because it has a really interesting relationship with ants. Ants go inside the little raviolis and they suck up the sugar and stuff, and they kind of have a symbiotic relationship, which is really cool. Now, I have seen this plant. It's like an epiphytic kind of a, is it a shingler? I guess it kind of is. It grows up trees and stuff, and it kind of grows really flat against the tree and climbs up it. So I'm hoping to figure out some sort of a climbing situation for this and try to get it to stick to something, whether that's a plank or like a wide flat branch or bark or something. I'm not sure yet. I will figure it out. But for now, it's just adjusting. A little bit terrified of taking it out of this thing and or watering it. Somehow it's very hard to tell, like when it was last watered. It feels pretty dry, but I don't know, we'll see. But that's Hoya imbricata, very pretty. Now the next plant, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this, and I haven't ever heard somebody say it. I've seen this plant a few times online and was quite interested by it, but I would kind of shy away from succulents and things like that until I got my Spider Farmer light. It's just, I was just too afraid to rely on anything else to give them the light that they need. And now that I have that, I picked up this very interesting little one. This is, I have to read it, Sulcorbutia rauschii? Sulcorbutia rauschii. Sulcorbutia rauschii. If you know how to pronounce that, you can let me know. I probably should have looked that up. But anyway, this is a cool looking succulent. It's pink and it goes green and it has the most amazing flowers. I will steal someone's photo and put it here so you can see what the flowers look like. Very, very cool plant. You know, succulents are quite low maintenance as long as you have the light, so I'm excited to see how I do with this. It's quite an interesting one. Definitely different from most houseplants that I tend to go for, but it's super cool looking and I'm really happy to have it. The next plant I got in a trade about a month and a half, 2 months, who knows, around that time ago. And this was with an Instagram friend, and this is Monstera siltbikana. Yeah, I'm sure you've all heard of this plant. It's fairly common. It's really, really striking in real life. It's much more striking than I expected it to be, or like since I've seen it on photos and stuff. This has done super well since I got it. It was already potted up like this, and it's grown like, all of this is new. All of this is new. It was a couple of leaves in the center there, and this has all come out. It is dying to climb something, so I'm going to give it a branch, a small little branch or something. Aerial roots are coming along nicely. They're fairly juicy, even with the drop in humidity in this room. Again, I have it under my light. I kind of thought I showed this actually in my last 6-month update video, and I kind of thought maybe the light is too high for it. We'll see how it does. Some of the leaves came out a little bit bleached, but other than that, it actually seems pretty happy under there, and it's growing really, really fast. So I think I'll probably leave it there, or maybe I'll move it down to the lower shelf if it's a bit too much for it. Yeah, so this is pushing out new growth constantly. There's a new leaf here, new leaf here. Every 2 days I feel like it has a new leaf. So it's super fast grower for me. Didn't take long to adjust, although it did just come from inside Ireland. So yeah, really, really pretty. I love this. I'm so excited to grow this up something. It's really, really gorgeous and exciting to have a fast grower. Always is. The next plant is just a cutting that I'm actually growing in water. It came unrooted. I got it from, I bought it from a friend on Instagram that was selling it. And it's a top cutting of Philodendron White Princess, I believe. And really, really pretty. I don't have a lot of kind of variegated plants like this, generally because they're much more expensive. But this is just gorgeous. And you can't lie. Look at that. It's just so, so pretty, this kind of variegation. The white is like crystal clear white. It also has the specks. It also has bits of mint. It's just absolutely gorgeous leaf. So I also got this week. Winter blues, who knows? Yeah, and it's already popped out of root. So I'm happy with that. It's a good sign. Still no rotting or anything. So it seems to be doing well. It's also, if you can see, just about to pop a new leaf, even though this one hasn't fully unfurled, but it is going through some stress, so we shall see. But also excited for this. It's a philodendron. I'm presuming it will grow fairly well for me. So excited for this, and it's nice to get one so kind of young, so I can start it off climbing pretty early. And yeah, really happy with this. Really, really beautiful. Much cheaper to get an unrooted cutting of something. So happy about that. She also threw in an interesting looking Hoya called Hoya parensis. This is an unrooted cutting. She did say that this is probably kind of hard to root, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. Really interesting shape of the leaves. It's quite cool. The flowers of these, I looked them up, they do look a little bit different compared to other Hoyas, and I believe it was kind of hopped around a bit in terms of genuses, but it's cute. I like it. I hope it grows for me. I hope it gets roots, and it's quite warm in here, so I think it will be okay, but we will see. So that's another one. All right, the next one I showed in my 6-month update video for the Spider Farmer Grow Light. When I went to Lebanon recently, was it that recent? A couple of weeks ago, we were staying in a hotel and I saw this plant growing on a tree. It's on my Instagram. I'll pop in a photo. And I asked for a cutting and they gave me one. And this is rooting in water. Look how many roots it has. It's only been a couple of weeks, so I'm pretty happy. They're pretty juicy. It's already popped a new leaf and a new one on the way. And this is Syngonium aureum. Look at that. Look at those leaves. So pretty. This one is yellowing slightly. That's okay with me. That's the oldest leaf, so that's pretty fine. But the other leaves look good, and this one has just emerged and there's a new one already popping out. So very, very happy with this. Again, I'm going to grow this probably in a semi-hydro situation, or water is fine, but most likely that, and hopefully grow it up a plank or something. So this is mature and it's just freaking gorgeous. I love the way the leaves are arranged. I actually originally thought this was a tomatophyllum because I've seen quite a few with this kind of leaf shape, but I guess you're just not as used to seeing mature syngoniums as well, or I'm not. So yeah, so that's that. That's another new one. Really, really happy with that. I just love getting cuttings on holiday and then coming back with them. They're really, really special. The next one I actually got in that trade with the siltbikana and then forgot about it, but it was also in water, and that is I believe Manjula pothos, or I'm actually not sure of the scientific name. Maybe it's Epipremnum aureum Manjula, I'm not sure, but I will look it up and let you know. Really, really pretty. Lovely, again, variegation, very, very different type of variegation. Mostly white with specks of green and like chunks of green as well. It's already rooted like crazy. It's an epipremnum, it does that quite easily. And this leaf is new and there's another one on the way. Definitely going to give this something to climb up. Really, really pretty, gorgeous plant. So the last two are both begonias. Remember when I used to hate begonias and now I actually love them? God, those were the times. No, but I think I didn't like begonias because I kept killing them and I felt like they just didn't like my house, but actually they just didn't like how I was caring for them. And I was just listening to a lot of different people's advice. And when I kind of blocked all of that out and like kind of went with my own intuition on how I should care for them, then they started doing really well. So the main thing is that I found they really like drying out more. That is not something I saw a lot of people saying. If you want a begonia care tips, let me know. I'll be happy to make them. I'm definitely not an expert. Any really picky begonias, I don't have a lot of them and I don't really love caring for them, so I'm probably not the best person to say that. But all the regular ones, the regulars, I do pretty well with. However, I picked up a begonia this week, a begonia. I picked up a begonia this week and it doesn't look so great. That is. Begonia Autumn Ember. Now, what was I doing picking up a begonia in the middle of winter? I don't really know. And being shipped across Europe to me. Anyways, look. This looked great when I took it out of the box and then it quickly nosedived. Big change in conditions. The pot was quite cold, although it was packed really well. There was a heat pack and some kind of insulating material. But, you know, begonias I don't know, didn't like it. So it doesn't look so hot. I watered it. It was quite dry as well, so I watered it when I came in and I'm just leaving it alone. Some leaves are crispy and some are mushy, so I'm just letting it be. I'm taking a step back. I'm letting it do what it needs to do. It looks terrible. I'll show you close-ups. It looks pretty terrible. But you know, that's fine. I think with begonias, I'm just okay with letting them look shit for a while. If I need to cut it back, I cut it back. They do pretty fine for me doing that. So we'll see how this goes. I will put in a photo that shows better what this actually is meant to look like. And you can see why I wanted to pick one up. It's a really, really beautiful colour, really autumny colour. I guess that's why it's called that. So that is that. So the last plant, as I said, is also a begonia, and this was just given to me as a cutting by a lovely lady on Instagram. Her handle is My Plant Family. She's also based in Ireland and she's a real sweetie. She's a real sweetie. So she has a big one of these and I just commented saying how nice it was and she sent me out a cutting, a very generous cutting, and it rooted in water, then I potted it up. I've had this for quite a while now, and but I just wanted to show it because it's new and it's really gorgeous. It's definitely my type of begonia. It is Begonia Linda Dawn. It is just, I love this. I love gothic begonias. I really, really do. So the leaves are dark. It looks more kind of bluey green on camera, but that's not really how it is. Does that show it better? It's much darker and has a red tinge. It also has these tiny little spikes on the leaves that are also have pink circles around them. And the back of the leaves is really, really dark red. So, and it's growing up a little stick. I just have it held up like that, and I just think it's gorgeous. It's really, really cool, really gothic looking. It's actively growing for me. It seems super easy, just like those other cane begonias, and I'm really happy with this. I absolutely love it. It's beside my desk and where I work every day, so yeah, really, really pretty one. So that is it, guys. It's definitely not all the plants I've collected over the year, but it is the most plants that I've collected this year in a short enough time frame. So I'm really happy with all of them. They're really gorgeous. So I'm really happy with all of them. They're really, really pretty, and they seem to be mostly doing well except for the autumn ember, but we'll see how that goes. So I will update you on how these are growing and getting along. I hope that you liked some of the more interesting and kind of unusual ones. Let me know which one was your favorite and which one you're most excited to see updates on. I feel like the weirdest one is that Sulcorbutia rauskii one. I'm really interested to see how that does, because that is a plant I haven't seen as much, and excited to see how it does. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourselves and your plants, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.